So, you all kind of know what this video is gonna entail, probably. I mean, you clicked on it, you saw the title. I don't need to do too much of an intro. So, living with cystic fibrosis. Living with CF entails a lot of different things, like waking up in the middle of the night because of coughing, getting so red in the face because you can't breathe until the coughing subsides. It means visiting the hospital a few times a year, and then having to stay overnight at the hospital for a few days at a time. It means having my fear of needles constantly challenged, my fear of blood, of anything with medical instruments constantly challenged. It means whenever I get sick, I have to leave my home so someone else can take care of me. It means wearing masks on planes or public transportation, or asking my clients if they're sick, and if they are, I have to wear a mask because I can't risk getting sick. It means dealing with this constant fear that not a lot of people can understand. Living with CF means knowing that at some point in my life, I'm gonna have to drop everything I've built and relocate when the possibility of getting a lung transplant arises. Living with CF means having the stress of planning how exactly am I supposed to have kids in the future? How am I going to take care of my kids in the future? Hey everyone, my name is Jenny, and I don't have cystic fibrosis. But my fiance does. So, the beginning of this video and the title might seem a little misleading to you guys, but it's not. Because even though I'm not the one that has cystic fibrosis, I still live with it. Because someone that I love and someone that I live with does have it. Now, I'm not going to use this video to explain to you guys what cystic fibrosis is. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you already know what it is. And if you don't, there are plenty of other people that are on the internet, that are on YouTube or whatever, that have CF that probably can explain it a lot better than someone who doesn't have it. I'm making this video a little bit for me and a little bit for the people that know me. Like I said, this video is not to explain to you guys what CF is. It's more to explain what it's like living with it. And it's more for me to answer the question that tons of people ask me. And every time I hear it, it gets even more and more frustrating. Isn't it hard being with someone that has an illness? I met my fiance when I was 12 years old. 12. I'm 23 now. He was living in Spain at the time and I was not. We met via webcam. I'm so sorry for my cat. Anyway, we met via webcam. And I liked him a lot already. I had a little 12-year-old crush on him. He was 13. He was a year older than me. And since that first interaction, I called him all the time while he was in Spain. I made all these like long distance phone calls. Sorry, Mom. My bad. But we would talk all the time. And he eventually, you know, obviously moved back. I don't even remember when he moved back. I just know that in the summer after I first met him, I finally saw him face to face for the first time. And essentially, I was just like, oh man, when I saw him. He was the cutest thing. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm getting excited talking about this. But I met him then. We obviously didn't date. Well, actually, I can't say obviously. But we didn't date. We were just really, really good friends. And we stayed really, really good friends throughout the years. But I knew about his cystic fibrosis. Basically, the point is, I knew about him having cystic fibrosis basically since the very beginning. our friendship grew with my knowledge of it. And of course I didn't know in full detail how, scary it was, but, as I got older, I, understood more, and I learned more, and I researched more. It became more real to me, every year. But the question that I got so often in the beginning of our relationship, and I still do get, is, are you sure you want to date someone that's sick? My fiance, even himself, asked me. He was like, are you sure you want to be with me? Because it's a lot to handle. It's a lot to deal with. And he wasn't wrong. It is a lot to deal with. Every night, if he's particularly sick, I will wake up every night to him coughing. Sometimes he may not even be awake himself, but he coughs so hard sometimes that his skin turns red and he has veins bursting, and I can't breathe until I hear him take in a breath from that coughing. He's been hospitalized because he got sick quite a few times a year, and usually when he's in the hospital, he's there for like 10 days. I spend the night with him sometimes. I sit with him while he's in the hospital. I lay in the tiny hospital bed with him. I hate needles. I hate needles. I have piercings and tattoos, but I hate needles. Specifically medical needles. They make me upset. I hate blood. Blood makes me faint. I am with him when he, goes to doctor appointments, when he gets a PICC line in, when he gets an IV, when he gets blood drawn. And I have to, kind of get over it. But I've had this fear for so many years. And it's every time we go to an appointment that requires a needle, I have to either suck it up and look at it and try not to pass out, or I have to look away. When I get sick, it's difficult because I need to leave my home that I have with him, because if I stay, I can get him sick. And when he gets sick, he might get over it, he might not. And anytime I've gotten sick and gotten him sick, and he's in turn had to go to the hospital for it, or even just get a PICC line for it, it kills me, because I should have known better. I should have stayed away. I should have caught on faster that I was sick. So anytime I feel like I might be sick, I leave and I stay with my mother. When we travel, we both wear masks. He doesn't like to, because people do look at you weird. We live in the US and people don't really wear masks like that when they don't want to catch something or when they are sick. So it's weird where we live. I used to do it before him and I even started dating, but he never liked doing it, because when people look at you when you're masked, they're like, ooh, what's wrong with them? Are they sick? Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just don't want to catch something. But to him, it feels more real because he, is sick. And it's almost embarrassing for him. So anytime we travel together, if we go anywhere, if he wears a mask, I wear one too. I may not be able to catch any sicknesses as easily as him, but I still wear it as a precaution, and I wear it because if I don't, he won't want to. Cystic fibrosis is scary. There's no way around that. There's no way to romanticize it and make it amazing. But I'm not going to be afraid to live the life I want to live with the person that I want to live with because of CF. When people say, doesn't it make you sad? Doesn't it scare you? Yeah, of course it does. How am I not gonna feel sad? How am I not gonna feel scared? but it doesn't mean I should stop doing what I want to do. I grew up with my fiance. We grew up and became best friends, and then we became lovers, and I'm terrified of what could happen, of what we plan for to happen. But you know, I'm not gonna let that stop me from loving him, from living with him. Because he isn't his sickness. I didn't fall in love with him because of his sickness. I fell in love with him because of who he was, who he is, who he's become. I've become a stronger person because of him. He's made me want to become a better person, become a stronger person. When you love someone fully, truly, with your whole heart, you're willing to do a lot. You're willing to change a lot. So anytime someone asks me, is it hard being with someone that's sick? Of course it is. But it's very easy being in love with the person he is. And he's not cystic fibrosis. He is not his illness. He's Nico. And people don't understand that. Sometimes it's hard to separate a person from their illness. The point I'm trying to make is, I guess I just want people to understand. Living with someone that has cystic fibrosis, living with CF, is not easy in the slightest. It's hard, it's scary, and it makes me very sad. But the moments I get to spend with him, loving him, being with him, do so much more for me than the moments that haven't even happened yet scare me. So to anyone that wants to know, yeah, it's hard dating someone that's sick. It's really hard, but I don't care, is the thing. Because I love him enough that it doesn't matter to me. And he knows how hard it is. He knows that it's not easy. I don't want people questioning me about why I'm dating someone that's sick, or whether it's hard dating someone that's sick. I mean, if you're gonna ask the question, you kind of already know the answer. It's scary when he wakes up coughing for such a long time that he almost turns purple. But after the coughing fit subsides and he's kind of catching his breath and he lays his head on my chest for comfort, that totally overshowers any of the fear that I had while he was coughing, because he's turned to me for comfort, because he knows I'm there to comfort him. When he's at the doctor and he's gotta get blood drawn or an IV of any sorts, it makes my stomach turn. I get lightheaded. My head feels like it's rolling, but when I look at him watching me and he's trying to hold back a laugh because he knows how uncomfortable I am, I don't feel as sick anymore, because I'm there comforting him, and instead of him thinking about getting jabbed in the arm, he's thinking about me falling over and trying not to laugh at it. When he gets a lung transplant, we're gonna have to move, and I'm gonna have to leave everything I've built here to go there. That's probably the thing that scares me, like, almost the most. But it's a new adventure I get to take with him. And as much as he's gonna need me to take care of him after the transplant, make sure he's okay, I know that he's gonna take care of me too. It makes it a little less scary, knowing that even though I'll be dropping everything that I've built, I won't be dropping him. Because he's gonna be dropping his crap right along with me, and we're gonna be making our way to the transplant together. And I know that no matter how scared I feel, he feels it more. He's worried about CF, and he's worried that one day the CF is going to be too much for me and I'm going to leave. So any fear I hold, I know that he holds it 1,000,000 times more. And it makes it a little easier for me. Because while he's being afraid, I'm also afraid. And it's something that we can kind of do together. There's comfort when two people have the same fear, I guess. It's comforting knowing that I'm not alone in being afraid of what's gonna happen, of what could happen. Living with cystic fibrosis is so not easy. But living with Nico, my fiance, it makes anything that I've gone through so worth it. So if you know me and you haven't asked me the question yet of is it difficult living with CF, please don't. I'm not alone in it. I have him with me because I don't see him as someone with cystic fibrosis. I see him as Nico. Dorky kid with a mop of curly hair and stumbling blue eyes that I had a huge crush on, who grew into this lithe man with the same stumbling blue eyes and less hair. But still, I have just as much of a crush on him as I did when I was 12. Maybe a little more, maybe just like the slightest bit more. Thanks for tuning in.